After going to Hax's nightclub 2 weeks in a row, I decided to skip one. The day before, I got a text from an old friend inviting me to her birthday party, and after some thought, I decided it was well worth it to go to that bar to catch up, rather than the other bar to play Melee. This story should tell you how I view the game, how I prioritize it in my life, and what I value as a person. In this episode, I want to explore those values and how they'll affect my goal of top 100. There is a platonic ideal of balance out there. It's just difficult for me to figure it out. On one end is burnout, going too hard for too long and going from 100 to 0. The other one is complacency, falling into the trap of believing self-love and going easy on oneself is the key to happiness. While we're still in January, I want to make this concept of priority and figure it out sooner than later. Episode 4, Balance. I've described my journey before as sorta like that Mario Party minigame, the one where you're walking along a tightrope as the other players shoot cannonballs up to try to knock you off. In my eyes, the two most important things are 1, stay on the rope, and 2, keep moving forward. If I fall off, the metaphor goes, I lose control. Burnout. Failure. In my real life, I prefer feeling like I'm stable over anything else, even if it means that I'm not moving forward too quickly. This pertains to my Melee career too. I would rather establish my day-to-day habits as being sustainable and consistent rather than leading to massive visible gains in my play. Then, when the opportunity comes to get a ton of Melee practice like HNC or a random training session, I'm able to go into it with a lesser sacrifice. This is where I stand now, and right away you can see the good and bad. There's plenty of upside, such as never being in risk of burnout, hurting my hands from playing too much, or getting sick of the game. I'm keeping up relationships with my friends, Smasher and Civilian. I was in a position to go to HNC when it launched, and can go every week without much lost besides needing to eat dinner out that day and going to sleep an hour later than usual. When stability is a priority, there are some clear benefits. But what are the drawbacks? What am I leaving on the table? For one, just because I'm not burning out on Melee doesn't mean it's not possible for that to happen. My new job in Manhattan is much harder than my last one in my hometown. The culture is more serious and focused, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed. While I'm focused on not burning out in Melee or comedy, I might be suffering those drawbacks in my 9 to 5. That's going to come up again in a future episode when I talk about health. For now, I'm still figuring that job out. Precautions don't necessarily mean safety. I might hurt my hands from typing at my 9 to 5 job, or sleeping on it wrong, or just general illness or wear and tear. This game often comes with a sort of opportunity cost. Do I attend the tournament or spend time with other people? More game time or more sleep? Practice or journaling or just watching a movie? I'm also recording the Wannabes and producing this series. Not too much really, but I have limited free time that I choose to produce rather than practice. When Melee is a priority and top 100 is a goal, there are some sacrifices that need to be made, but which ones? What am I willing to do to achieve this goal? What is important to me, and what can be cut out? I wish I had an answer, and actually in the past I've claimed to know exactly what to do. I give up on being a top player, I once said. I'm going to focus on content and commentary, and that's it. I had set up a strategy. Go to tournaments to get commentary experience, sacrifice entering brackets so I could get on the mic, make videos instead of play the game or practice. It seemed like a good idea, since there are only so many hours in the day and I can't possibly do it all, right? After a few months though, I realized what a mistake it was. I liked playing too much. I loved competing and winning over tough opponents, practicing a new piece of tech skill, traveling with friends and talking about my matches. It became clear how hard it is to always know what I want, and that picking a framework based on achieving a singular goal isn't right for me. This all brings me back to square one, wondering what exactly I want out of the game. I don't have the same amount of freedom that I once had, going to fests regularly and degenning until the early morning. All I have is the same love for the game and the desire to build skills that can lead to a more fulfilling career. I think Melee can achieve those dreams for sure, and I'm asking a lot out of it, no doubt, but now I feel like I have a good framework to start from. Setting top 100 as the goal is so much easier than what I had before. Commentary skill can't be measured, but gameplay has power rankings, tournament placements, shit, even friendlies have a winner and loser. It might not be easier to achieve, but it's easier to measure. That's where I am right now. I have a weekly tournament that breaks up my week and is one of my favorite tournaments ever. I have a consistent avenue to work on making podcasts and videos, and I feel like I'm moving forward slowly but surely. Here's the problem though. Am I going too slowly? This is such a Melee non-exclusive insecurity that I'm going to share with y'all, but I am constantly afraid that I'm not working hard enough. Every other day I'm scared about burnout, and the times in between I'm scared about falling short and living with regret. Which one is it? Is it all in my head? How do I actually know what's enough? What are the metrics for success, the KPIs of a thriving Melee career? It's an impossible question. There's only like 5 examples, and one of them is Mango, so fuck if I know how to pull this off. And if I'm being even more honest, it's another challenge to watch other people in similar situations find their own success. I would not say I'm proud of this, but every time I see a different commentator or player, quote-unquote, my level, get a sponsorship or a block in a major, it rocks me a little bit. I want that for myself. I'm jealous. I've learned to keep that shit away from Twitter, but I'm still learning to not let it affect my own work, my own timeline, my own success. I'm moving at a pace that works for me. I'm balancing my life, or at least trying to. So just because someone else's career is being launched from Melee, it doesn't mean I'm not doing the right thing. As long as I do the best that I can, then that's enough. Even if this all leads nowhere, and the biggest lesson I learned is that I'm not cut out for it. Pretty bleak, huh? All I could do is keep my head down and move forward. I can't look too far ahead, or at anyone else. I can't be afraid of burnout either, using it as a shield for just being lazy. I need to keep on the tightrope but still reach the finish line, and those cannons just keep on firing.